Hey everybody, welcome to Live Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse, and today I have a new webcam, and I also have sunglasses on, so you might be able to see in the reflection, the webcam is really bright. It's so bright that I was thinking about wearing sunglasses. It's super bright, but the lights are nice. I have the lights off in my office, but my face is lit up. Before, the only lighting that I had was a small lamp that didn't really do anything, and then on my other screens that you can't see when I'm streaming, I tried to make them be white. So I'd use like the white theme on YouTube and try to put basically just windows, like Chrome windows with all white backgrounds all around my main screen. So this should be a much better solution than just trying to use my monitors. Although I'll probably end up taking the sunglasses off because they do help with the brightness, but I can't really read my code that well. It's too dark. But I haven't streamed for a while. I had pretty crazy end of the week last week. I had some kind of like emergency things that needed to be fixed. So I had to, basically my boss and his boss had to do a presentation to a bunch of members of the board here on Saturday, and so I had to type something up for them and make sure that there was a fully functional demo site. So I got all that working, and I also added a proper URL and SSL certificate to our WordPress installation. So if you have the code locally on your machine, definitely do a git pull, get the latest. Well, if you have a fork, then do what you need to do to get the to update your fork, and then make sure it has the new URL, because it may not work to grab data from the old IP address. And the reason I needed to do that is because I was running the demo site with an SSL certificate. When it tried to grab the data from the IP address, which of course was just HTTP, it couldn't get that data without an error popping up that, hey, you're trying to load, HTTP data on HTTPS. So it took way longer to get that all set up than I thought, but it's all running now. And today we are going to create a ScrollSpy component. I had a nice meeting earlier today with one of the students who is working on one section of this site, and it would benefit them if they had a ScrollSpy component. So we're going to make the basic functionality for them, and they can adjust it as needed. Also, they were just offered a job, which is really awesome. So he's going to graduate in May and already has a job lined up. So that was pretty cool. And helping out on this project helped him to get the job, because although the job doesn't deal directly with front-end development, they were really interested in the fact that he knew about JavaScript, because that's something that they need. I guess they needed more people that knew about that. So it may be something they add on to his job after he starts. So I thought that was kind of cool, that somewhat like indirectly, that this project kind of helped him out in getting a job. So that was really cool. Let me think. It looks like we have a decent amount of people. I'm going to take off the shades for now. So I'm going to try to get started. I don't think there's anything else to update you all on in terms of things that have happened in the site. There's one weird thing going on with my tests. My unit tests were failing, so I messed around a little bit with it, and now for some reason the index test, the snapshot is huge. Like we're talking like over 50 megabytes, huge. So I messed something up. So I may just end up removing the test for the index page for now, because it's taking forever to load, and then just trying to figure out what was wrong with it sometime later. So if you're having trouble with the test, it's something I did. I don't know. And let's see. Yeah, so let's get into it. I should probably start up ngrok before we start. ngrok. So some of you may remember that I was having some issues with the built-in camera. So hopefully I will not have the same issues with this other webcam. For some of you who are asking why I had the sunglasses on, it's because my new webcam has a really bright ring light around it. So I can't remember who it was, but somebody recommended to me to get the Razer Kiyo webcam, and I did get that. And so far I really like it. The quality is definitely better than the one that's built into an iMac or a MacBook Pro. And the fact that it has the built-in light is really nice for me because I'm always coding in the dark. So I didn't really want to invest in extra lighting. And I'm not really sure how the best way to set that up anyway. So this is simple. I mean, obviously it's not the best you can get, but really it's not. It doesn't really make sense for me to invest in all this equipment. I'm just kind of doing this on the side. I don't get any money for this, so wouldn't necessarily be the smartest investment. All right, World says the only thing is that the audio is out of sync. Okay, I'm gonna have to look into how to fix that then. Let me Alright, so I just did a Google search on that, and that way when the stream's over, I will remember that, and I'll check out that the search results. Yeah, so I don't want that to happen all the time. I'm going to try to fix that, because I know it can be annoying when it's out of sync. Whenever I put the code up on the screen, you probably won't be looking at my face anymore, so it won't be as big of a deal. Let's see. So I'm switching now. And let's start this Pomodoro timer. And so I'm going to do one Pomodoro session, and then we're going to take a break, and we're going to do some, answer some questions in the live chat, and then I'll go back and do another Pomodoro session. We'll see how much we can get done. Probably 2 Pomodoro sessions is, all I'm going to do today. At that point, we'll probably be getting close to 6 p.m. my time, and then that's definitely time for me to get home and help get the kids ready for bed. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, let's see. Yeah, let me just get rid of this index unit test for now. Oops. Let's delete that. And then I'll get rid of the snapshot, since I don't really have time to figure out why that's not working properly. So, and I don't want it to take to mess up our process of testing and just take forever. So we're just gonna get rid of that for now. And we need to grab. Let me go over here on my other screen so that we can get some code. Because I know we've done something like this before. Let's check out GitHub. I'm going to pull this over on the other screen as soon as I get it working. All right, let's pull this over. So I just want you all to have a visual of what this is going to look like. It's going to be really simple. Just a little menu on the side, which, let me zoom out, that is going to have a position fixed. And as we scroll down the page, it highlights the area that you are in the page. And if we wanted to just skip to an area, just press the button and it skips to the area. Okay, so that's what to do. This one's a little bit buggy actually. Like it's not exactly, there we are. We may have to improve upon that because this is not working exactly right. So, but this is basically how it's going to look. And I need to find the GitHub repo for this as well. So let me pull this over. And where are we at? Resource Center. Yeah, that was it. So let's go into our source and our views and planning guide. And we'll figure out what we called this. Oh, I don't think we put this in a separate component. So, did we? Active section. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're tracking scroll position and everything in here. Okay, but then we do have this planning guidelines component. All right, so that makes sense. So I guess the first thing we'll do is add what we need to the actual page, and then we'll check out what's here in our planning guidelines component that we'll need to bring in and use to create our own component. So I'm going to move this off to my other screen so I can look at it, and then we're going to go in here to the missions.js page. So the student who's been working with me, so basically they're doing like an internship with me, and then they're also working with another department on a project. And so we have at this university a whole department dedicated to missionary work. So like they go into places all over the world, like, you know, really poor areas, and help with like to teach, you know, kids, and at orphanages, and, you know, feed the poor, do all kind of stuff like that on spring break, which is really kind of cool. You know, a lot of people on spring break, they go party. Well, our students go and you know, they help the poor. So it's good, but right now on the website, the section for that isn't spectacular. So the head of that department is a really nice guy. He's always wanted something nicer for that, and we really didn't have, you know, the capability or the resources to do that on the old website. But on this website, I think it's going to look a lot nicer, and so a group of students has been working on doing that, and I've been kind of collaborating and just, you know, checking in and basically giving them like the whole framework, and like, here's what you need to work within. And I started them out on building the page with just basic HTML and CSS because that's what they're comfortable with. And I said, once you build it out and you like how it looks, then we can convert it into React. So that's where we're at right now, is converting that page into React. So we did some work on it this morning, and I think it's looking kind of nice. So we should be able to see, yeah, let me go to that page so we can see what's happening. So we're at localhost 3000, and you all can see this page too, missionary outreach. So if you have that ngrok link that I pasted in there a little while ago, and you type at the end of it /missionary-outreach, then you'll see this page. And so I think it's really, not bad. Like, this student that has done this work is a computer science student and doesn't really have a whole lot of experience with JavaScript and front-end development at all. So, and just this semester has gone from basically having zero experience with React at all, to being able to build this out. And I think it's looking pretty good. I'm not sure about this header right here. Let me know what you all think about this. So I told him to leave it in because I'm just not sure about it. I know it's like, I didn't want to say no automatically because it's a new design element. So I want to get over that like shock of like, hey, I've never seen that design element in this particular site before, and just kind of give it a few days and look at it. But I would like your opinion on what do you think for sections having, this kind of thing instead of like a full, across the page strip, just kind of a half, I don't know. I'm not sure about it, but I would definitely like some input on that. But the idea is that each one of these cards, and he had a nice adaptation of the cards that we were using on the home page. Each one of these, you'd be able to click Learn More, and it would have its own page that would have videos from that particular trip, pictures, and then kind of maybe like a story of what happened on that trip and more information. Yeah, and then we'll have it on the other end, on the WordPress side of things. We're going to make it really easy for the people that work in that department to edit that. So all the fields will be marked out so that as soon as they add a new post, it'll automatically appear in the right section on this home page, and it will create its own page. So that's what we have so far. I mean, I can already see a few things that maybe I would adjust, just little things, font size, here and there. Let me check. I see a few you are bringing in, or you're adding some opinions here. So I'm going to check it real quick while we're on this page. Oh, okay. Some advice here on this this side thing. Frankie's saying, maybe it should be centered. Swapnil says need more margin and maybe make it bigger so it's more prominent. Oh, okay. So Frankie was saying make the text centered. Oh, okay. Make more margin, bigger. Yeah, I could see it being bigger would be good. All right, thank you. I appreciate that that feedback there. So it'll probably get adjusted a bit. At least it'll get adjusted a bit. My thought was, I'd just have text right there as another header, and it wouldn't have any background or anything. But I do want to give this a chance. All right. So what we want to do then on this page is make that side navigation, and it's going to be a little tricky, right? Because it's not as simple as what we did on that last page that I showed you. We can't just put it right here. It's going to look terrible, right? So we need, basically as we scroll down, at maybe it starts to appear here. So let's say it scrolls with the page until you get here, and then we go to position fixed, and then it'll scroll down with you. And if you scroll back up, it would stop here and not go up any higher. I think that's what we need. We definitely need. We definitely don't want it to be up here. So it's going to have a little bit of different functionality, But first things first, let's just get some of the code over, and then we can adjust it as we need to. So let's go in. Oops, I've already moved it over here. So look, we're in this missions.js page, and let's scroll down. Here we are. So I did, let's see, get initial process, return ID type. Yeah, so I had some things in here that I had commented out for the student that I'm working with, just to say, like, here it is if you need it, right? At some point we'll be pulling in data, so that's why I kind of wanted to leave this in here, even though we're not pulling in data yet. So let's bring in what we have from this other component. Okay, so we have quite a bit, and I'll bring it in, but then we'll definitely need to go over it a bit. Oops. Okay, so this is what we have, and we definitely would need to bring in throttle from Lodash, which we are using elsewhere, so we won't need to bring in this npm package. And then right now we're not using this log page view, so let's get rid of this. And what's up with this? Why each is not defined? I'm like thinking, didn't we do something similar to this already? I guess we didn't. I just have this feeling like we've done this before. Maybe I'm just thinking of the other project. Okay. Alright, so there's definitely some things that we will need to change. Or at least adjust. Alright, so since we have this here, are we not? Yeah, okay, so we don't, most of our markup is actually going to live in this component and not be in another component. So you can check out, let me give you the link to this GitHub page that I have on my other screen so you all can see that as well. If you click the link that I just pasted in and it doesn't work, try copying and pasting it. That'll usually work. Let's go. Planning guidelines. So I need to go to a different component in this other repo, to planning guidelines, and see what we're doing here. This pro set headers. scroll to item. All right, so in our component did mounts for the other component in that other repo that we're checking out, the Resource Center repo, for the planning guidelines.js component, we do have something extra in component did mount, and we're bringing in get top coordinate import slice headers from get top coordinates. So we're actually bringing in quite a bit, more than I even realized. Planning guide data, planning guide nav. Wow. This is way more complicated than I imagined. I definitely didn't remember it being this complicated. Probably it's because one of you did most of the work for this component and not me. That's usually what it happens whenever I go back and I'm like, wow, I don't remember doing that. Okay, so let's add this in. Once I get everything on this page, we'll go through it more closely and see like what does it do and what do we need to change. But for now, ref, title, ID, okay. Ref. Trying to find where that spring mission trips. Okay. Equals. What are you gonna do? Spring. Oops. Spring. What? What am I thinking? Okay, there we go. So ref equals spring, and let's give it an ID of spring as well. And what am I? Let's give me use of string literals and ref attributes is deprecated. Okay. Alright, so we have it there. Let's just give it, let's throw in another one here at the bottom. I guess we don't need it all the way at the bottom, do we? Let's put it down here. Put another one down here, and let's just call this summer. Just so that we have another one for our menu. So for right now, I'm okay with hard coding this because there's only going to be 4 sections. And there's not, like, we're not going to add more seasons to the year, right? It's going to be spring, summer, fall, and winter. Otherwise, I would, probably be looping over things and adding more. We will do that eventually, but for now, we don't need to mess with that. It's just going to add some complexity that we don't really need right now. Okay, so since we're doing that, we will be able to get rid of a bit of this up here. But let me make sure I have everything over here first. Also, if you're asking questions and you're wondering why I'm not answering them, I will answer questions in just about 2 minutes. I like to break things up and do some code and then go and do some questions, kind of back and forth. Alright, so I think I have almost everything. We just need this planning guide nav component. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the markup. I'm going to back to section. I'm going to bring this markup in here, and I'm going to put it down here where it'll probably end up being on the page. So really, we're going to want this, I guess, right here. So some things that we're going to need to bring over, some things that we won't need. I don't think we're going to need this or this. And we're not going to be mapping over anything right now. I think we're going to hard code this. At least while we're just getting it to work, we're going to hard code it. Okay. So that's mostly everything that we need. There are probably some styles, living somewhere that we could bring over as well, but I think we have all our functions and all our markup. So this is actually not a bad place to stop. We're going to do a short break. I'm going to get to some questions. I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top and just work my way down the live chat. Matthew said, nice shades, Jesse. Welcome to the Rockstar Coder Club. Yeah. If you weren't here for the beginning of the chat, I had sunglasses on. So, Smilers asked, where's your beard? Yeah, I shaved. No more beard. My wife always hated the beard, so once it started to get warm, it was gone. Sorry about the yawn. I'm pretty tired. I've been sick. Really, the last week I've been getting worse, and I finally went to the doctor yesterday and got an antibiotic, and so hopefully I'll start feeling better. It just doesn't matter what I do. Doesn't matter how much I sleep or if I work out or don't work out, I'm exhausted all the time. Michael asked if I had a hangover. No hangover. Oh, I forgot to tell you all earlier. I was invited to speak at Career Day for my son's 3rd grade class. So I did that today, and it was awesome. And I told the students I build websites, and they thought that was cool. But as soon as I told them I had a YouTube show, they all got really excited and wanted to know how many subscribers I had, and they wanted to subscribe to my channel, and so that was really fun. And then I told them that I made some little video games, just some HTML5 games, and they all wanted to know about the games. But they made me a card. I don't know if you can see the card. So they made me a nice card. They all signed it. And they gave me some chocolate chip cookies. So that was a cool experience. Sanskar says, I have a problem in Android Studio. Would you help me? I've actually never used Android Studio. So, I'd love to help you, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to help you that much. So if anybody else in the live chat has used Android Studio, maybe reach out to Sanskar and maybe figure out what's going on. Frankie says, why does our sensei look like an aviator pilot today? Cool. That's funny. You call me the sensei. Desorolo says, the ScrollSpy with React sounds good. Cool. Cool. Dennis asks, should I spend my time to learn jQuery or React? I would learn React. I mean, it definitely depends. Like, for your current job, do you need to know more jQuery or React? Or are you just learning and you could learn either one? I would learn React. I think you're going to find more jobs and higher paying jobs knowing React. But there definitely are still a lot of places that use jQuery. So you can, there's work for both. But I think that React is, it's a little bit more challenging, but I have more fun with React than I did with jQuery. Jakarija. I'm really sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Let me know how I should pronounce it. But anyway, they say, I think we are in a situation where we have a lot of frameworks, and it's going to be a little trouble about which framework I have to choose to work with which. I just want to talk about React, Node.js, and Angular. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big decision for a developer, like what framework am I going to use? Some don't really have a choice because they have to use whatever their boss says they have to use. But if you do have the choice, it can be a difficult decision, right? You could try to learn a little bit about all of them, or you could try to really become an expert at one. So that's definitely a decision that needs to be made at some point. But if you keep learning JavaScript, just regular JavaScript, it'll be easier and easier to switch into a framework at some point. So don't feel like you have to make that decision too early. If you're not sure, just keep learning. And it's once you learn a framework, it's not that hard to switch. A lot of the concepts are similar. Even if the framework's really different, just the ideas behind frameworks in general can transfer. So don't be too worried about it. It's not like the end of the world if you pick one framework and then switch a year later or something. But I mean, it's a legitimate choice, but don't stress too much about it. Just as long as you're getting better with coding, like you'll learn these skills that help you pick up anything more quickly. Okay, I'm going to write down where I have left off in the chat, and we're going to do some more coding. So let's find, where did I leave off? Okay. Let me know what you all think about me streaming this late. I probably can't do this every day, but I'm always trying to figure out what time of the day is the best to work with everybody's time zones. I know this is like really late or really early in the morning for those of you in India and in that time zone. So this may not be the best. And then for a lot of you, this is probably dinner time. You're maybe doing your commute home. If that's the case, you're not even watching, but if you watch the recording of this later. So do let me know how this works out for you. We have about an average amount of viewers, maybe a little less than we had the last couple of streams, but so it seems like it is working out. But let's go. We'll start this Pomodoro session. See, I've broken things because we don't have this get top coordinate. And that should be in, where am I getting that from? Do I have a utils folder? Yeah. Nope. Where's my components? Get top coordinate. Okay. Wow. Okay. You know what? Let me bring over, I'm going to create this component and we're going to import it. So I kind of think this should be in our utils folder. In my other project, it was just in the regular component folder, but I think it makes more sense here. So let's make a new file, and let's call this get top coordinate.js, and I'm going to copy and paste everything that we need. Okay, so one thing that we don't have right now is Lodash map values. So now I know for sure that I didn't write this, because I usually don't pull in Lodash stuff. If I'm going to map values, I use .map. But I don't really want to get into refactoring this right now. So I am going to bring in Lodash map values. So sorry, I'm going to do yarn add Lodash, and it's not going to be slash, is it? It's going to be, let me look up, I can't remember what the yeah, I think it's dot. Yeah, so it'll be Lodash dot map values. Oops. And actually, is it all lowercase? I think it is. And then we will have to change missions .js to bring in our get top coordinate from. So let's go util. Okay. All right, let's see if that fixes our error. Key is not defined. Where do we have this? All right, so now it's just a matter of figuring out all those things that I brought in that aren't really gonna work. So let's check out where I brought in key. Yep, there we go. Yeah, and we don't need a key right now because we aren't going to be mapping over this. But I would like to have more than one LI, so let's figure this out. Active section equals key and active. Maybe we will need a key. Item, scroll to item title. Scroll to item. Let's figure out what we're naming this. And then we don't have title. So instead of title, we're just gonna make, right now it'll be spring missions for now, and class name active section equals key and active. Oh, I'm sorry, why is it? Alright, I'm gonna have to go back and see what I have going on. Just planning guide nav. So before Okay, so we were using, before we were making the key just a number. So whatever number it was, so we were mapping over this, and we were just using like the iterator as the key. So I don't really, I'd rather not do that right now. So basically we're saying if the active section, which was being passed down, I guess, from the state of the parent component, so if the active section equaled key, so it equaled whatever number, then we would add the class of active that would give it a border to the left and increase the font weight. So we need to change this a bit because we're not passing down these values from parent to child component. It's all living in the same component for now. So we need to change these to be named what they ought to be named. So let's scroll up a bit and check out our state and see what we've named these. This is a little bit different than we usually do state. Usually we don't use this constructor, but that's how we copied it over, so we'll just work with it as is right now. So it looks like, all right, so we can do this state active section. We can do header positions. So we do this state active section and then handle scroll. Yeah, I guess we'll do this handle scroll. So let's go down here and we'll change this to this state active section. And well, let's see what we're supposed to pass handle scroll. Next. Scroll to item. Okay. Header. Scroll into view. So we don't even have a scroll into view. We don't have that. I'm assuming what's supposed to happen is the handle scroll. Oh, wow. Scroll into view is actually a separate component. That's wild. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sense of this, of where where this stuff is coming from. So we have this scroll into view, but I'm pretty sure this does not exist anywhere else in our component. No, it doesn't. Let's see. That's wild. All right, so this scroll into view, we're not importing anywhere. We don't have it anywhere else in this component. And we're not actually, I don't know what's going on. So check this out. So in this other React project, we're using scroll into view here, but we're not pulling it in anywhere, and it doesn't exist anywhere else. So if we do, control find, we don't get it. So scroll INTO. So it's just there. I don't know. Let's see. Let's do a search in the whole repo for everywhere we're using scroll into view. So we do have a component named scroll into view. Routes. Oh. Wow. Okay, so this then is a container component. Wow. Okay, do y'all see okay, John Hansen says scroll into view is a native JS command. Oh, okay. That makes so much sense. I did not know that. Sorry to everybody who knew that and was thinking, like, what are you talking about? Okay. That makes more sense. It threw me off that we had a component named this as well, but now that I look at it, that was capitalized, so it definitely wasn't the same thing anyway. So I wonder if this will work if we leave it out. I'm going to leave it out for now and just trying to continue on, see if we can get just like a working, something working here. Key is not defined. I thought we took key out. Did I not save it? Oops, it's not what I wanted. this a different spot? Let me give it a refresh here and see. Key is not defined. 261. Oh, yeah, because I'm still using key right there. If the state active section equals, I think I'm not gonna. I think I'm gonna use title. Let's see. Did we have? Where's our state? Active section. Yeah, so I'm not going to put title. I'm going to say, does it equal spring scroll to item spring Okay, that makes more sense. Now I'm going to put in another li, and we're just going to change this to summer. So you see, we're hard coding a lot of this. We'll probably end up going back to something that's closer to what we originally had, but for now, this will just simplify things. Oops, I didn't want this to be capitalized. Okay. We need to probably do, yeah, we need to say this dot scroll to item. Sorry, we're having that red squiggly line there. This dot scroll to item section. Okay. All right, let's see. This prop set headers is not a function. Okay. Where are we at then? Let's find set headers. You're right, it's not. It's going to be this dot set headers. Yay, no error. Ah, we got one. Each is not defined. You know what? Are we? I bet each is some sort of. I bet it's using like low dash each or something like that, and that's where we're getting this. I'm gonna check on my other screen, this other component, and see what we're pulling in. Where did we get this from? Handle scroll. I don't know where we got handle. Maybe we got it from the page. We did, you know, now let's see, we did pull in low dash each. so let's bring this in as here as well, and we're gonna have to go yarn add dash each. Couldn't find package dash each. Is that not what it's called? Okay, I think it's called dash for each. Maybe. Anybody that familiar with Lodash? Let's do. You know what? I can. I think I can probably see where we're getting this from if I just check out the package JSON for this Resource Center project. So if you want to check out that Resource Center project on GitHub, I pasted the link a little bit earlier. I'm going to paste it again for those of you that have come in a bit later on, so you can search through this as well. Right now I'm going to look at this package JSON file and see. I'm hoping we didn't bring in all of Lodash. Actually, I don't see Lodash anywhere. How is this possible? We're definitely using Lodash in a lot of components, but place Lodash underscore imports with required function. I guess we have all of Lodash being imported. All right, I'm not sure if for each will work, but it's worth a shot. So let's see. No. All right. Still did that. I guess not all the pieces of Lodash are available in different modules. I wonder if I could just replace the each with a normal for each. Hey, what is it in? All right, my timer went off, so let me do another 5 minutes and go back to the live chat, and then I'll come back to this and figure out what's going on. So let me scroll to where I left off last time. All right, Frankie says, just curious, and this may be trivial, however, is the text going to be justified? All right, so we were talking about, well, we can't see it now because I messed it up, but that section header and then the text in there. So, I don't know. I haven't really thought about the text in that particular section. Maybe I'll have to mess around with ways to align the text, see which one looks the best. Frankie says that's totally cool, feeding the less affluent. Yeah, it is. I think that is one of the really cool things that the university does, is to, encourage students to take part in a lot of work like that. Especially, and it really reflects well on the students that they're willing to give up, a spring break that's more like a vacation and a party, and instead use that time to serve other people. So it's really cool. I think they do a lot of good. And there's going to be a lot of great content for that section of the website. Great images, videos, and stories. So I think it's going to end up being one of the really kind of the better parts of this site once it's finished. Frankie was given advice on the heading and what to do with it, and then said, "But what do I know? Play around with it. You're the expert, and I'm learning." I don't know if I'm the expert, and I definitely value your opinion and your contributions to the stream. So I see it as us helping each other to get better. So, I mean, I hope you can learn from me, but I don't want anyone to think that that I'm somehow, the expert at this. I mean, we're all just trying to do good work, right? And if we can help each other, then that's great, because we'll all end up doing better work together than we could separately. So I always welcome questions, and I try my best to help, but I also really, really appreciate when you all help me. Even if it's just offering your opinion about how something looks. That's really, really helpful. I was talking about shaving my beard earlier, and I said that my wife hates the beard, and Frankie agrees with my wife. All right, so she'll be happy to hear that. I know I did on Instagram a while back. I did a poll and asking people if I should shave my beard or not, and it was overwhelming that everyone wanted me to keep the beard. And I joked with my wife and said, like, you should have recruited people to vote shave it, So I'll have to let her know there is somebody else out there that thinks I'm better without the beard. Frankie also said, hopefully you'll feel better soon. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm hoping to. The doctor asked me yesterday if I wanted an antibiotic prescribed or not. And I said yes. I know people worry about getting antibiotics prescribed too much, and I understand that, but I thought, you know what, I've been sick for a week, and I got a busy week coming up. I don't have time to come back to the doctor. I don't want to mess with it. I was worried I had an ear infection too, and it's like, I don't want to mess with that. I already couldn't hear out of one ear, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want to mess with that. I don't know if it could really happen, but having an infection that close to your brain kind of freaks me out. Like, I'm not sure if an ear infection can get into your brain, but I don't want to find out, So I thought, hey, we'll just get it taken care of. You know what I'm going to do? My 5-minute timer went up, but I'm going to go through and answer all the questions right now. And then I'm going to see what time it is and how tired I feel. And that'll determine whether or not we have time to finish this component. We might just do part 2 tomorrow and finish the component then. I kind of think at this point, if I just installed all of Lodash, that would solve the problem. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do that. But there may be other problems right after that. So I don't really know if this is something that I can get working in just a few minutes. And hey, I have a spam caller calling me right now. Okay, so let me keep going. Rohit says, use the Bootstrap ScrollSpy or build your own. Yeah, well, we're trying to build our own here. And this, I guess, is partly my problem. You know how I like to do things. Is I don't like to prepare. I like to just show you, like, in reality what happens when I try to do, something at work. So I didn't take time beforehand to check out that other repo and see. And I didn't remember how much work was involved in making this happen the last time. So I underestimated the amount of time it would take. So I assumed I could do this in one stream, but I think it's going to have to be a 2-stream thing. So, yeah. So I guess at the beginning of the stream, maybe I was a little bit optimistic about how this would go. But I looking through this, I definitely think there's some refactoring that can happen to do this a little bit more simply. So maybe we'll get into that tomorrow. But I always like to make something work first before I worry about refactoring, because that's the most important part. Like, the user doesn't care what your code looks like. You want to get it to work. at some point you definitely want it to look good, and if you have time to do both, then definitely do both. But I'm trying to keep the user in mind first, and then I always can go back later and do it. I don't always do it, but I could do it. All right, so Adrian has a question. How to find an internship with only basics of React? What website should I look at? You know what? I don't really know of any websites for internships. Does anyone know of any internship websites? I know there are definitely good internships out there. Some of the bigger tech companies actually pay really well for interns. I've seen some things online. They claim that interns at Facebook and Google actually make more than I do, which is pretty cool. But I don't know where those are listed at. I mean, probably somewhere on the sites for those companies, but it'd be nicer if you go to one place and find everything listed from lots of different companies. Unfortunately, I don't know of a site like that. If anybody knows something like that, please put it in the live chat. Frankie did say, be proactive, send your email out, or go directly to the companies. That's definitely good advice. Frankie's been emailing all day. That's the way to do it, Frankie. You got to be proactive about that. Okay, Don Savior says that this is actually a good time for streaming right after dinner. Okay, cool. Destroyer of Worlds says, what's the name of the color scheme? What is it? Seti, that's it. SETI. That's my. I'm assuming you're asking about my Visual Studio Code scheme. So it's the Seti for the text and for the UI. All right, John Hansen says, could handle scroll just keep track of on-change values of scroll Y? John says, sorry, not much experience on my part with Lodash. All right, let's check it out. Let's see, handle scroll. Could handle scroll just keep track of on-change values of scroll Y? Yeah, there's got to be a better way we can do this. All right, I'm gonna think. Sorry, I said I was gonna get through the live chat first. I'm gonna stop myself. Let's get through the live chat first. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, it looks like something happened with the stream because we dropped. Yeah, we dropped a lot of users. I mean, it's entirely possible that most of you just got bored with me, but it looks like I missed it, but something happened and the stream data was like terrible for a second, and then it got better. So I apologize if the stream cut out. Let's see. All right, let me know if you all can see. Yeah, actually, I see the point where everything just just totally dropped off. Alright, sorry I didn't notice that at the time. Yeah, let me know if y'all can see and hear me right now. I'm down to the last question in the chat, though. Kun Denanji says, "Hey Jesse, nice to see you're back. I missed these sessions. They actually helped me in my last term's computer science project." Awesome. I'm really glad that they were helpful to you. Yeah, definitely. I'm back. I want to try to stream more regularly now, and so I've taken some steps to make that happen more. So I've got the new webcam, and I think it'll make it easier for me to stream at home. Because I was just worried about the quality of streaming with the laptop in my lap, of it kind of shaking and getting people motion sick. So hopefully I can be back. And like last week, I just wasn't feeling well. When I don't feel well, I don't exercise. I feel more depressed. I just don't feel like doing much. So that's also part of the reason why I wasn't streaming so much last week. So I'm going to do my best to keep up with my health, my exercise, and my mental health so that I can keep doing streams for you all and do good quality streams. Let's see. All right, so I'm at the bottom of the chat. It looks like I'm still not sure about the video quality. I didn't get any response in terms of if y'all can see and hear me anymore, and we're still at a low count for viewers. So I'm gonna be on the safe side and assume that there is something going on with the stream, and so I'm gonna stop working on this right now. I'll probably commit what we have here so that you all can check it out if you want, even though it's not working, and then we'll pick up with this sometime tomorrow and hopefully get it working then. So let's just let me just commit this now so I don't forget. So we're going to do a get status. We're going to see what we have here. Lots of stuff. And then we'll do a get add. We'll add everything, and let's do yarn CM, and we're going to do feature. And let's say add functions and markup for ScrollSpy nav to mission page. Actually, now I think about it, I probably shouldn't have changed that. I shouldn't have said mission page, because I think we have a mission page for mission statement. Oh, what just happened? Oh, it's not going to let me use this refs, huh? Alright. So let me let me get rid of some of these. I'm just going to comment some stuff out here that's giving us errors right now. Actually, let's just comment out a lot of what we just added, because really it doesn't work. I just want it to be in there so I can, you know, have it available for me to load on my laptop. So let's grab yeah, I'm assuming this section's not gonna work. Whoops. Normally I do not recommend just commenting this much code out, but I want this committed. Just don't have time right now to make it work, because I'm most likely going to be working from home tomorrow on a different machine. Okay. Alright. Okay, cool. So we brought this back. No errors this time. Let's go get status, get add, and let's go with a yarn CM, and then we'll give it a retry flag, so we won't have to type everything in again. No, why is it making me type it in again? Did I need 2 flags? Alright, there we go. No, still have more errors, huh? Throttle is defined but never new. Throttle, slice headers in each. Whew. Okay. Alright, hopefully this goes a little better. Alright, this unit test went pretty quickly. That's good news. End-to-end tests. Yes. Alright, wonderful. Git push. This might have been a better idea to do on a branch, on a side branch instead of master. Oh well. Okay. Cool. Okay, Frankie just said cool, so it looks like something's still working. Alright, so a lot of stuff's been commented out, but it's all available on GitHub, so you can check it out if you want to. If anybody wants to take a shot at trying to make some of this work, feel free. Do not feel obligated to do anything, but if you're interested, you know, hey, pull requests are always welcome, and we're going to tackle this tomorrow. I'll tell you what, at this point, I'm trying to decide between make what we have work or just completely redo it from scratch. I'm not sure what I want to do. This is kind of a problem that I think would be really cool to try to do from scratch, especially on a stream and figure it out. I don't know, but realistically, like, is it worth it for that time? I'm not sure what would take longer at this point. So it's possible that might happen. But for now, it's after 6 p.m. where I'm at. I bet my wife's wondering where I am. So I'm going to go. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm really sorry about whatever happened in the stream when everything dropped off. Thanks for those of you that hung in there. Thank you. Thanks for all the advice. I will do my best to be back for a stream tomorrow. Until then, have a wonderful day.